Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. Welcome to Extreme Recap, everyone. In the wake of finding the presence of a fanciful animal on his granddad's homestead, a young fellow and his cousins are relegated the mission of shielding the fledgling from the grip of a tracker. Today, we'll go over the plot of the 1996 film Jupiter, which takes place in 2023 and depicts a group of excavators investigating some ancient paintings in a cave in Mexico. One of the men runs to inform his superior of the discovery after finding a feather on the ground and being startled by a terrifying sound as they begin to follow the tracks to see if there is a creature inside. Quinn attempts to capture the baby Chupacabra as soon as he can get there. However, his mother appears quickly to provide him with protection. The animal tries to flee by picking up its puppy after pushing the invader away. In any case, turns out to be hit by a shot discharged by Quinn. Indeed, even with its wing harmed, the animal progresses forward with its main goal to save the existence of its child and runs rapidly through the desert. After that, the monster is pursued by the digger until he reaches a mountain. Soon after, his companions appear, and they quickly realize that the creature has escaped. Quinn decides to carry on the hunt after finding one of the animal's claws buried in the sand and inspecting the ground. It is dim, and the creature goes across the street at fast. When a vehicle approaches at that time, the driver fails to stop in time, resulting in an accident. The injured animal decides to hide his cub behind a bush while luring the humans away because he is afraid his cub will be captured. The infant is now on his own and must fight alone to survive. The existence of Chupacabras was unproven up until this point. Yet, after this occurred, this hypothesis began to spread in a wide range of nations. Alex is a Mexican boy who was raised in the United States. He is 13 years old. His classmates constantly make fun of him. So he is in every case alone and zeroed in on his computer game. One day when he returns home, the kid gets news from his mom, who says that Alex's granddad is in Mexico standing by to meet. When the young man was still a child, he lost his father. Even though he was not particularly excited about the trip, Alex eventually took her mother's advice and went to meet his late father's family after getting off the plane. Since then, he has not had any further contact with his family. Alex is taken aback by his grandfather, who is overjoyed and thrilled to see him riding in the car on the way home. Java is irritated to observe that his grandson is more interested in playing video games than getting to know him, and he asserts that Alex is similar to his father. The young American gets to know his cousin when he arrives at the farm. As a result, Chavez informs Memo that he and his sister have traveled from the city to spend a week with Alex. Memo then shows his cousin the house and the room where he will sleep while unpacking his belongings. Alex hears music coming from outside and glances through the window to figure out who is there. Right this second, the young girl demonstrates that she is overjoyed to finally meet the boy's cousin, Luna. After packing for the day, Alex walks through the house and is surprised when his cousin attacks him. He's confused because he doesn't know how to fight that way. Therefore, Luna plays a videotape on the television. Alex finds out after watching the tape that his grandfather was a great wrestler. He dueled against the best rivals of his time and never lost a fight. Until he faced El Jackal, a rogue fighter who threw him out of the ring. Chavez was thought to be invincible. Chavez suffered a skull fracture in the fall and spent nearly a month in a coma. He was never able to fight again after that. After the television has been turned off, the children's grandfather appears just as Alex is invited to the farm. They come across a goat lying on the ground as they walk through the barn. Notice and Luna before long start to hypothesize that the creature was gone after by a Chippewa. However, Chavez asserts that this creature is merely a myth. That evening, Alex is sleeping when he hears a clamor coming from his window. Surprised, the kid goes to see what it endlessly is, significantly feeling better to find that a goat has come for a little while. But a few seconds later, the young man decides to follow Chavez into the barn when he spots him sneaking out in the middle of the night. A terrifying creature enters abruptly. Alex yells out in pain for his grandfather. Chavez makes his appearance quickly. Furthermore, the two youthful siblings showed up presently. Nevertheless, as they peer into the bushes, when they found out that Alex was being frightened by a small rabbit, they started making fun of the boy. The young Chopin cobra emerges from among the leaves when everyone returns to the house. The following morning, when Alex wakes up, he comes across the animal, and they both startle each other. The animal then, at that point, gets away from through the window. What's more, Alex goes to search for it. The trio decides to go after him, and Luna takes the car to look for him after spotting his cousin, who invites him to set fires on the roof while they are talking. Memo then appears and reveals that his grandfather has vanished immediately. Chavez occasionally forgets things and wanders aimlessly around the farm while the three cousins drive. The young woman now knows that. Quinn finds a license plate while scouring the road and plans to find out who it belongs to as a group of diggers investigate the last location where the Chupacabra was seen. The three kids are split up when they get to the city. Additionally, Memo takes his cousin to sample the most diverse local foods while Luna looks for her grandfather. Alex is tasting a few tacos when Luna appears and illuminates him that her granddad isn't there, after learning that he's consuming brains. The boy begins to vomit the food. Additionally, the trio departs as they approach home. They find the man strolling close to a little goat and figured out how to persuade him to get back coming. They come across the excavators, but they manage to get away without being questioned. The family watches a newspaper about the appearance of Chupacabras when they get home. But Chavez makes the decision to turn off the television once more. There is no such thing as claims that these animals. Immediately after his grandfather leaves, Alex lets Luna know what happened the prior night and cases to accept that Chavez is concealing the Chupacabras in the outbuilding. When I heard this, the girl says that the monster is just a myth. Furthermore, Alex chooses to go look at it when he shows up there. The kid is faced by a little fledgling, which is gradually strolling towards him to become friends with the animal. Alex goes to the kitchen and takes a plate of chorizo from the cooler. But when he provides the animal with food, Alex decides to follow it to its hiding place after it flees. When they get there, the Chupacabra gives the boy a small box, which he opens to find a dead rat inside. The whelp accepts that Alex will like the food, however the kid tenderly denies the gift. All of a sudden, a solid tempest starts and the whelp is terrified by the thunder. So Alex embraces him and avows that he will deal with the little one. Memo investigates the barn the following morning and discovers his cousin asleep there. Alex tries to stop the boy from finding out about the Chupacabra when the boy suddenly notices a loud noise. However, when the cub decides to attack Memo, his strategy fails. However, Alex is able to reassure. Luna enters the barn a few minutes later, and when she sees the little monster, she becomes desperate. After the trepidation, the girl tries to get Alex to get rid of the animal, but her cousin tells her that he and his cousins will take care of the cub from now on, which he decides to call Chupa. Then, at that point, Chava shows up on the scene and uncovers that it was he who carried the whelp to the ranch. The man claims that he was driving along the road when he returned to tow the creature a few nights ago. The creature vanished soon after the accident. Be that as it may, the following morning, when he got back to tow the vehicle, he decided to save Chupa when he discovered him hiding in a bush. He has been trying to get the puppy back to its family ever since, but he hasn't been able to locate any other members of his species. Chavez quickly goes over to talk to the intruders when he sees a vehicle approaching as the quartet returns home. Quinn informs the farmer that he has located the farmer's vehicle's license plate on the side of the road and requests permission to search the area after getting out of the car. However, Chavez quickly discovers a means to expel him, and he promises his grandchildren that he will not tolerate any harm. Chopin. When Quinn leaves, Alex goes to the puppy to talk to him. However, the animal attacks him cautiously because it is stressed out. The boy uses a music box to pique the child's interest and manages to reassure him. Then Update shows up and says that he will train Jupa to fly. After that, the boy dons his cape and takes his dog up on the roof. He then asks Chupa to jump onto a haystack and does the same. The Chupacabra manages to fly, which is surprising. However, he quickly loses his balance and falls next to Memo. Alex decides to spend more time with his grandfather before returning to the United States by watching one of Chavez's earlier fights on television. Before Alex meets his mother, he learns that his late father was also a fighter. However, at that point drop all that to live. A profound love. When Chava has finished talking about the great things his late son did, he decides to take Alex's video game away from him after realizing that Alex is still looking at it. Now, he must retrieve his video game. In a duel, he will have to take on his grandfather, which can be easily hosted by Memo. The boy is rendered unable to move after being knocked down by Chauvin. Alex's grandfather tells him to let all of his rage out, even though he intends to escape. Until Reminder declares the elderly person's triumph. Enraged, Alex assaults his granddad even after the duel is finished. Additionally, the man experiences a serious accident. A doctor shows up to take care of him after hours. Additionally, Alex feels terrible when he observes that his grandfather is asleep as a result of him. The doctor is intrigued to learn the meaning of a loud roar after administering painkillers to Chavez. However, the children were successful in persuading him that the man's departure is harmless. The three of them race to see if Tupa is okay as soon as he gets into the car and notice Quinn pointing a gun at him. The evil person has entered the farm and is willing to take any creature he can get his hands on. Accepting that Alex is in harm's way, Tupa pursues the digger and the man figures out how to hit him with a sedative dart. The puppy then faints and is powerless to do anything. Alex rushes to his grandfather's room and begs for his assistance in an effort to save his friend after Quinn seizes the opportunity to capture it and set it in a trap in the trunk of his car. Java, on the other hand, is lost and unable to recall much. Take away his existence. As a result, Alex decides to employ a different tactic to get him to stand up. After donning a wrestling costume, the boy declares that El Chavez, Chavez's greatest adversary, is invading the farm and must be stopped. The man goes to meet, not entirely settled to pulverize him. Chava and his grandchildren run to the car, where Chopin, as in Luna, starts the vehicle. Quinn tries to stop them from escaping, but the family eventually escapes after Quinn knocks out the evil man with a punch to the chest. The mission currently is to find Chupa's family members and bring him securely home. Alex tries to get his grandfather to recall exactly where he was when the car accident happened. Yet, the man is still intellectually confounded. The infant Chupacabra starts making an odd noise all of a sudden and starts to run quickly. The car is abandoned on the road after the small group decides to pursue him. By this point, Quinn and his coworkers have arranged a ride, and they arrive at the spot where the vehicle was abandoned without knowing where they have gone. The gathering separates, trusting they can in any case catch the Chuper Cobra. Chuper's family follows Alex as he continues to follow him through the desert. When he reaches the canyon's edge, the little boy starts howling, and Alex soon realizes that his family is nearby. Alex gives his friend a hug and tells him how much he will miss him, even though he is happy that the puppy has found a family now that it is time to say goodbye. When the boy realizes that he will never be able to see him again after saying goodbye, he breaks down in tears. Chupa and the two best friends crosses the bridge in order to follow in his mother's footsteps. Abruptly, after the cub has already left. Alex is cornered as Alliance approaches. He then attempts to flee by climbing the bridge, but the animal pursues him and the ducts that connect the bridge begin to collapse. Chavez attacks the feline when his family members arrive just at that moment. The man attempts to drive it away with his cape until the lioness at last surrenders, gobbling up the men leaves. Chavez, greatest worry at that point is keeping Alex from losing his life by tumbling from that devastating level. When every one of the lines break down, the kid sticks to the side of the duck, and Chupa hears his frantic sobs for help. Right away, the doggy races to help him and gradually strolls towards Alex. They both ended up falling off the cliff just as the boy was about to fall to the ground when the rest of the structure gave way just at that moment. Chuper flies back to the top of the canyon after using his wings to stop falling. After seeing his grandson is protected, Chavez can't hold back his fervor. Additionally, Alex acknowledges that the puppy saved his life. When Quinn launches yet another attack, Chopin is perplexed about how to cross the canyon and return to his family. The digger uses a stun gun to prevent Alex and his family from getting too close when the animal falls unconscious, preventing him from completing his mission once more. When Alex sees the evil man leaving with Chupa in his arms, he is furious, but his grandfather prevents him from reacting to protect the young boy. The family's hands are bound as they spot Quinn, placing the creature in his vehicle and escaping far away. What nobody might have envisioned, notwithstanding, is that Chuck, his mother, was keeping a close eye on everything that was going on and viciously attacks the vehicle that the criminal was driving. As soon as Quinn's car is destroyed by other Chupacabras, the creature lets out a terrifying roar at its foe. The man, holding the puppy in his lap, abandons the vehicle in a desperate attempt to repel the predators. However, when Chavez comes up behind him and manages to disarm him with a single blow, his plan fails. Once everyone is safe, Alex bids Chopin farewell once more a few minutes later. In addition, the infant and his mother disappear from human sight. After completing the significant task of assisting Chip, a cobra, locate his parents, the family visits the farm once more. Since this occurred, a few days have passed. Additionally, prior to her cousin's departure, Alex is about to board a flight back to the United States. Luna goes to bid farewell and gives him a tape containing accounts of various Mexican melodies so the kid can rehearse his Spanish. Following a hug, Alex and his grandfather proceed to the car with him. Up until this point, Reminder is missing, and Chavez calls the kid to bid farewell to his cousin. As he doesn't answer the call, the couple chooses to advance toward the air terminal. In any case, when the storage compartment of the vehicle is opened, Reminder shows up all of a sudden and makes an unexpected assault on his cousin. Alex, however, overcomes the blows for the first time and emerges victorious from that battle. The kid can hardly hold on to impart to his mom all the experience he has lived and gets back to the US as a significantly more certain kid since showing up in the country. The young man is determined to prevent others from making fun of him because of his nationality and has developed a sense of pride in his roots. Prior to getting onto the plane, the kid expresses farewell to his granddad and figures out that he is passing on the hacienda to live in Mexico. The man will be able to better treat his disease, which has been causing him memory loss, by thinking about his daughter in this way. Chava. The flight is about to depart in Alex's hands. His gaming system. The young man asserts that he no longer requires that device and that when the plane takes off, he will terribly miss his grandfather. The boy is appreciative of the opportunity to learn about his heritage as he examines the mask. His father used to wrestle. Right then and there. When he looks out the window, he sees Chupa outside, going to say his final goodbyes to his friend. So what was your take of this film? Leave it in the remarks underneath. Turn on notifications, please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.